we have November 22nd, a special meeting that was set today to consider establishing a reward fund for the November 17th tragedy that's impacted not just us in this chamber, but our entire city. So we will start with that. I wanted to initiate the conversation by saying you see the entire council here. Mr. Marathon will be here in 1 minute. And we will express our condolences, our sympathies to the entire families and the community, the Hmong community in particular. This is, I think everyone was just shocked by the extent and nature of this tragedy. So from our hearts to your hearts, we will walk and talk and ride together to get through this crisis. And I wanted to add that today, the special meeting will be adjourned in loving memory of those that are no longer with us. So thank you very much. So from that, we will come to our council members here. First up, what happens is we have buttons up here, and if you want to speak, you hit a button that lights up my screen. So that we have an orderly conduct here with who's who and what we're going to do. So first up, David Chavez.
Thank you, President Capriolo. Again, just to echo sentiments, want to extend our condolences to the family. I had an opportunity to meet with the family last night at their home. It's heartbreaking to see that, the hurt and the pain of having to lose a family member. And we wanted to show a really one voice, being in unity today here as a council, as the mayor, police chief, and our officers that are working hard on this case. And we're praying for the families. But I wanted to also, by name, remember the folks that this tragedy affected. C. Lee, P. Lang, Ku Zhang, Alexander Tao, and if we could have a moment of silence for them. Thank you. Thank you. I think when we are confronted with situations like this in our city, it's so important that we speak with one voice, that the community knows that we support them. And today is a symbol of that, where we as City of Fresno say that we support our community, that we support the family. We know that this tragedy is not just going to affect them for the next week or two, but it's going to be an ongoing challenge. In speaking with family, we know that they're going to need a lot of support in the future. It's going to be important for us as a city, as a community, to come together and provide those services. And we will do that. And so we wanted to communicate that publicly and tell the family that whatever you need, the City of Fresno will be here to support you. Thank you, President.
Thank you. Member Soria.
Just very brief, thank you, Council President. I think a majority of the community members heard me at the press conference on Wednesday. I just want to again send my heartfelt condolences to the entire Hmong community, and special prayers and big hugs to every single family. I did get to meet CB's family at the press conference, but this is a very painful time for the entire city of Fresno. It's not just about the Hmong community. I think that when we think about what happened in that neighborhood, that we, it hurts us all because it is something that could happen in another neighborhood that any other of us represent. So I want to thank all the law enforcement officials, our local folks, our state folks, our federal folks for coming in and working swiftly in trying to address this and hoping that we do get to justice, to get some closure to the family members and to the entire community. I also, want to say that I do believe that today is a symbolic day in terms of what we are trying to demonstrate, not just to the Hmong community, but to the city as a whole, that when there's a tragedy that happens, that we're going to work together, regardless of where we're at, politically, to make sure that we address the issue that is in front of us. But most importantly, I think that this is kind of the first step in demonstrating that there is some work to do here locally, so that we address the challenges that plague this city and the violence that exists. So I want to thank all of you, the folks that are here. Thank you to Councilmember Arias for his leadership, to try to get us all together, to work swiftly, to make sure that the families have the resources that they need as they are struggling to mourn for the families at the same time. So again, and thank you to the community. I've seen the link being shared by thousands of people, not just here locally. I think folks across the nation are feeling the same thing. And so it's amazing to see the type of support that exists for the Hmong community and for the city of Fresno. Again, thank you everyone for making this happen.
Member Rutherford.
Yeah, I too want to express my condolences, love, support for those affected by this horror and tragedy. We will support you. We are with you. In fact, this council is meeting today for a special meeting, not only to support the effort to find the killers, but also to make a statement. And the statement, along with Mayor Brand and our police chief here, we are all united in supporting you. We will be with you all the way, every day, as long as is needed. I also want to thank the first responders. It's a very difficult thing to respond to, and I want to thank our police chief, our police department, all law enforcement personnel, federal, state, local. It is very important that justice be served, justice be swift, and that the killers be found, and be found quickly. And I know all of law enforcement is working to make sure that happens. I have no doubt they will be found, and I have no doubt that justice will be served. Justice is very important to the families of this community, and for the community to know that this kind of behavior is completely unacceptable and completely intolerable, will not be tolerated in the city of Fresno. So just know that we are with you, we stand with you, we are fully supportive, and we will make sure that this kind of thing never happens again. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Butterfield. Next is Member Esparza.
Good morning. This is a tragedy that has really shaken Fresno to its core. And the Hmong community is very well integrated into the fabric of what makes up the Fresno community. So we've had the opportunity throughout the week to offer condolences and support, and I'm looking forward to continuing to do that today here as we hopefully take an action that will help justice to be served for our entire community. Thank you.
Member Arias.
Thank you, Council President Cambrelio. Just a quick thank you to the paramedics and the emergency doctors who responded with our first responders and our police officers. It's clear that they saved lives that night, and they continue to take care of the victims who are still in the hospital recovering from this tragedy. For the general public today, we're calling a special meeting and asking our council colleagues and the mayor to contribute to increasing the reward fund to capture the perpetrators of this tragedy. So it's my hope that, and I know that this council and my colleagues and the mayor will be unanimous in their support to try and at least ensure that the folks responsible for this don't continue to walk the streets of our city. With that, my condolences to all the families that we've talked to in recent days. And there is some light at the end of the tunnel. As of this morning, we had more than 200 donors provide to the victims fund. The Fresno and the nation is responding to our cries for help. So thank you to everyone who's donated, and for those who haven't, please do so.
Member Carbasi.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say this is an absolute tragedy. It's absolutely senseless. And I want to recognize and just say to the Hmong elders in the Hmong community, I know how important family is to you. Family is important to my people as well. And your family just got bigger. And in this time of tragedy, we not only pray for the families of the victims, not only to support you, we also pray for those that are recovering now. Chief Hall, I can say with good faith that this council will fully support your leadership, and we're confident you're going to do your job, and we're going to help you as well. And you are highly valued. The Hmong community is very, very highly valued, and we're going to come together as a community, and you're going to get the justice you deserve. Thank you.
Mayor, would you like to approach and address the chamber?
Good morning. Occasionally we disagree on issues, but on this issue, the mayor's office, the entire council, indeed the entire city supports the Hmong community. This is a tragedy that my primary responsibility is to keep the city safe. And I want to thank our police department for their initial reaction and the ongoing effort with them, other law enforcement agencies to find the killers and bring them to justice, because people are frankly terrified in Southeast Fresno, and it affects all of us. I know all of us feel the same way. And we're not going to be defined by an act of violence. We're going to be defined by our reaction to our overwhelming support for the Hmong community, our overwhelming support for the families of the victims, to make a statement on who Fresno is, and the mayor's office will contribute to this reward fund, offer the resources of the city, whatever it takes to bring a closure to these families and to unite this city together. And I appreciate the cooperation of all council members. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief Hall, could I give you one for a moment? Good morning, sir. I just wanted to express our appreciation for you. You're new on the job, and this is could never ever be even thought about, expected, or otherwise. Especially as a new chief, and all of a sudden you're confronted with this, the entire community is. And I think on behalf of all of us, we want to thank you, and we want to thank your team and your ability to organize everyone, put this thing together, and get these guys. These killers are going to go down, we know that. It's just a matter of time. So personally, thank you. I know if each person could stand up and shake your hand, I would thank you as well, because you're doing a great job in a very tough, difficult situation. So thank you, Chief. We appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you. And I'd also like to commend the council and the mayor's office for coming together as a community and supporting the Hmong community. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken over this. But more, I'm angry. I'm so mad that this occurred. The people behind me, they're not the Hmong community, they're Fresno. These are Fresno, and they're our community. And I will not rest until they capture the suspects are captured and brought to justice. And then I'll agree with them. But my focus, the department's focus, with our partners at the state and federal level, we have one focus right now, and that's to bring justice to this community. Thank you.
And we fully know you will do that, so justice will prevail. It's just a matter of time. So with that, the screen is clear.
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city to contribute $40,000 towards the Crime Solvers Reward Fund to find the perpetrator who committed this heinous crime.
We have a motion by Member Arda, seconded by Member Chavez. Screen is clear. Is there any opposition? Seeing none, it passes unanimously. Congratulations to my colleagues, and we appreciate you and everything that you have contributed to our community, and not the Hmong community, the Fresno community, because we are one family. One family. We'll always be that way. We welcome everyone into the Fresno family. With that, I think we have done our business. So with that, we'll adjourn the representative. Sorry. We can take this out to the public. Is there someone? Please come forward. Good to see you, sir.
Paub, Fresno Center, President Capriolio, City Council, well. With me this morning is our Hmong community, our elders and leaders, and beside me here is Xov widow. Xov is one of the men that was murdered on Sunday. This here is P.S. father, also with me. His son was murdered on Sunday. I want to thank the city leadership for coming together. It's not a Hmong tragedy. It is a Fresno City tragedy. And I thank all of you for coming together and supporting us, supporting the 4 families and all the victims. We still have 6 folks that are hurt, injured in the hospital. We continue to look for your support. But on behalf of the Fresno Center and some of our elders that probably are not able to come up and speak, I want to thank all of you for your support. And we look forward to your continual support as we find the killers and bring them to justice. 3 things that the Hmong community is looking forward for from the support of the city. Number 1, find the killers. Number 2, please help us bury our dead. Number 3, let's heal together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Anyone else wish to come forward and speak on this item? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for letting us know that you are part of our family and we are part of your family. We're Fresnos. And we'll unite, stand together, and justice will prevail. Justice will prevail in this situation. The screen is clear, so thank you all very much for being here. And again, we will adjourn in loving memory of those that we lost in this tragedy. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate it very much. Meeting is adjourned.
Did I teach him? I don't know, that's why I'm finding
our sons, and number 2 is let's help us bury our dead. And these are not the dead of the community, these are the sons of that's why a copy that let's start the healing process. This week everything's happening for us.
Okay, so can you please tell us exactly when we're here and what is the order?
We are here to support with the Hmong community, which is the Fresno community. We are all together. So our object today was to help fund relief for the tragedy that occurred to the victims that have passed away and those that have survived. So we're here to illustrate our support as a family, the Fresno Council family, to the Hmong community family, and to the entire Fresno community.
And can you please tell us what is the purpose and how much is the reward going to go to?
Today, we passed a resolution to award $40,000 toward the tragedy to help people recover from that moment. It's unbelievable. And we will have justice. We will catch these bad people, and we will be prosecuted, and justice will be.
And again, can you please tell the Hmong community and insurance and safety for the community overall, not just the Hmong community, but the Fresno community too? Can you please explain what is the goal for that for the future?
Well, the future is the present, and our police department is very active, and they go after every form of criminality. And this has brought a new level of violence we've never experienced already, which, as you've seen today, brings everyone together, from first responders, law enforcement, the council, the community, everyone is standing tall and strong, and we are going to stop this from happening.
And can you, do you want to send a message to the Hmong community and to the killers and see what are the focuses right now? Do you want to send any messages to the killers?
Well, the killers have the message loud and clear. We're going to get you, and you're going to pay for this. And justice will prevail, and you will. We wish we could make you suffer as much as you feel like you need to suffer. Unfortunately, we can't do that, but we will have justice. They will be in a court of law, and they will be punished to the max. And then we will continue our support of law enforcement. We'll continue to serve the community, and we will do our best to prevent this from ever happening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, how are you today? Thank you for coming, and what do you think, and what is your thoughts on today's meeting?
Well, my heart goes out to the entire community. Yes, the Hmong community, but when one part of the community is hurting, we all hurt. And so what we've seen is everyone not be afraid that your information could help us solve the crimes coming together and that we share the GoFundMe account to also help relieve the pain from the families mourning so that they don't have to and that we mourn this process, but most importantly, make sure that our community remains safe so that we can have our communities that will arm for to attend. They know
trong một cái police chief the who should have watch on more about cho phán sĩ cho đầu crime stopper account có ba chia tàu cho tua về cho block tu không dia trâu tu cho nó tiền màu nè anh nu nói giờ inu về cu giờ inu về rục xia thì lấy cho nó cho chữ họ lối rõ cu cùng tệ tôi sẽ cùng chữ nó về tan cho còn chia cả tàu block tu cho auto tôi nói giờ về tu là cho tua về cho mình tôi mình nhua cho nó sang để tăng nó của bỏ ra sự kiện ở Fresno Center lúc cùng học giờ về cùng học nhau trong Fresno đó học xia thì về mua về cho nhiều giá trị cho cứ cho đi cho nó cho chữ bản đoàn trái về ba về sáu về lúc chuột sáu về cho nó hỗ trợ. Thank you.
Well, the suggestion I would make is to call the police department. We have many fantastic law officers, so they will not be a language. So bring forth the information, it will be received, and will be acted upon by our law enforcement with full force and effect. Justice will prevail in this situation.
Sure. So the city of Fresno has partnered with Fresno Center, and Fresno Center is also available to the families to call there if they feel like they can't call the city of Fresno. And with your office know that not only the victims the families of the victims are experiencing grief and a lot of issues as it relates to losing a loved one, but the community as a whole, there's young people that are in shock about what is happening. So there are resources here in our community. So I would recommend folks to reach out to the Fresno Center. It's going to provide us with resources for the entire month. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fresno the city council, the mayor here, the police chief. No matter what she can, no matter what so far, the money at the account or crime stop account or money they come so we chỉ cho phá thế này là thì cái tàu auto tua cái lót tu ta sẽ nên mà cũng nó bây giờ cái sự mong cái tua nó bây giờ bỏ thì bây giờ nó chỉ cả như công việc cho được bây mong sẽ đợi tua ba chơi đó rồi phía chơi nhiều chiếc rồi theo tàu cho và tiếng năng phải của tua bây giờ tu nó sẽ được vào nó bây tua ba chơi sẽ đợi theo bóng thì tập cho nên tua bây giờ tu
cáiคุณน้อยก็จะขอก็ฐานะจะขอเนี่ยเป็นเทียนในยันเทียนมุชเอาตัวนั้นไปเอาเดี๋ยวเชียร์เทียนละป้าต่อมาหมดเสียงเลย
cái nhiều nó sẽ chỉ giờ về muốn cho bà nó mà giờ ba cho có nhiều thì ở tuần này mà tua bây giờ tu này sẽ là chia cái nhiều cho bà ba nó bao chuyện này là bao giờ tu là ta sẽ nên là bây giờ mình phải nhiều cái lần ba chơi cả thì bao áp
ก็สารนจะแจ้งก่อนจะเนี่ยสิ่งที่เราเจอเราใช้เราที่เราต้องเนี่ยนอนเลยเทียมมกเนี่ยเราปั้นเดียจะได้เก่งตัวไปจะได้นั่นละมาอย่าง
มาปั้นสอนเรามันเนี่ยจะปั้นโดนchoตัวนั่นมานุ้ยสิริขาวสดตื้อcho tới họเข้าthì cái này từ có do nó mà chỉ này muốn nhà có ba tàu chẳng là đó nóเข้ามันเชี่ยวเลยจะtừ
City Hall, into Fresno. Chắc tới nó lên cho cái gì rồi chúng ta tiếp tế con lên một đây, rồi nó có cho biết là cộng ra từ watch, police watch họ nó, còn nếu nó sát số là phải có cái lò được cho nên cho tiếp tế cái gì cả đi theo, nó hòa chỉ có là nó nằm the chief of police was like maybe. Right now, with this meeting, what do you think of it, and what is the purpose now?
Well, I love the fact that I don't know exactly coming together just among community. More importantly, there's some ourselves in our community. We believe that the Hmong is part of our family. So I'm glad that everybody is coming together. I'm really excited.
Well, this is
that.
money from the city.
Like I told the council, my heart's broken, and I'm angry that it's happened. And I'm not going to agree until that we can locate and bring those responsible.
I'm not sure. The families are trying to get together. It's difficult to do.
Right now, my heart is conclusion.
Well, so far, thank you. Thank you for working with the Hmong community, and thank you for making such a great success. I believe that we would catch the killers. What is your thoughts?
I'm absolutely confident that we'll bring them to justice. I have well we're all working together.
Well, that's a good point. Yes. Okay, so do you have any messages you want to send out to the Hmong community, and not only the Hmong community, but the general community that's watching this TV show right now?
Well, to the Hmong community, I just want to say how thankful I am for your support. There's such a wonderful community and such a family, and I think a lot of us can learn from this community.
Okay, so today's reward, could you tell us a little bit how many agencies come in together, united with the community to award them? How much did they get today?
Well, right now, the award is at, I believe, $16,000. Now, then we'll be working with the council to raise that. I believe, I'm not sure how much they can get, but I believe it's an additional $10,000 to $20,000 that we'll be adding to the award. This will be continued to develop it.
All right, first I want to say congratulations, Chief.
Thank you very much.
For being the new Chief of Fresno.
I'm sorry I have to be here for this. I wish I was celebrating Thanksgiving and Hmong New Year with a much happier time.
Okay, so I'm very happy to see that within the county Mexican, all the community has come together and united. What do you think about it?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's great that we're recognizing everybody in this community as a family. We're all Fresno.
You want to send any messages to the family and to the community out there?
Again, my heart is broken for the families, and we're struggling, especially as we go into the holiday season. And I think it's important that we're thankful for the time that we had with the victims, and that we support the families.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chief, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yang trong những trường hợp chỉ sẽ là để họ cũng là tổng hợp của phân địa của hải tiền để thực sự hoặc xong nó có tổ tay chỉ đang nhau trong bên trong Fresno rồi nó để tất cả là cộng với nhau hải tiền thằng nó bây giờ không kiểm lý thì rồi tế cắt tế bảo tế là tổng cộng của rồi nó cũng hơi ít nhau mới xong thế có không để đi ra đó
Máy số là
rồi nhưng mà số ya tế bé lần thôi là thả sẽ nhiều hơn một cái các sẽ thấy trong sẽ đi nhà hải xong để hải tiền là tàu lúc sẽ đi họ là nó thế nóจะ community leaders nó cũng tàu là cộng tế là ba chơi nữa kia là ba chơi hải tiền lúc này rồi là trong phải cho có tư thế cho như riêng là ba này sẽ chủ giá nó còn mỗi lần là hải tiền cái chuyện cho nó cho uống kia từ người tập với thằng
cũng sáng trong ta có tấm độ council member but here to buy donation this year for the sharing show to buy really so nhỉ phải hết nó cần
well as all of Fresno. We're all celebrating Christmas together. But more than that, like I indicated, I'm angry at those with and I made a commitment to the family that I will not capture the suspects that are responsible.
Do you think maybe this additional $40,000, I know it's not in the bank yet, but do you think that's a little bit extra incentive, a little extra motivation for somebody to come forward with some sort of information?
Sadly, sometimes money does motivate people, and I believe that it will motivate people to come forward. We're already working on several leads that we believe are very productive, as well as some forensic evidence that we've recovered. So we do have some really good investigative leads, but we are still encouraging the public support.
As far as the award, you said it's not in the bank yet, but when it gets to the bank, is it going to be on top of the $16,000? So it'll be about $56,000?
That's my understanding. Again, the Fresno Police Department only recognizes Crime Stoppers as our reward fund. It's not part of the Fresno Police Department, and it guarantees confidentiality if someone does report information, and it gives us separation. But until Crime Stoppers actually receives the money, they will not identify that as a reward.
And the fact that I know the Hmong community came forward and said they don't want necessarily to say this is a gang involvement type thing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, we're not leaving any stone unturned, and what we call a task force is not as important as the focus of the task force. And we have one focus, which is to capture those responsible, and we're not going to leave any stone unturned. So whether we call it a task force or a gang task force really does not make a difference. It's how we respond.